I think over the last decade, we have seen a complete shift in the perceptions of Americans towards the LGBT community. I think that perception is largely based on the fact that the majority of people actually aren't against the LGBT community. They're just realizing that their voice is necessary and saying yes. They didn't lose a no that they had, they gained a yes. And I think that's really healthy. And I think the next 3 years, all the legislation that was written in the idea that somehow silence meant that the majority of people thought gays shouldn't have the same rights as everyone else, that's all going to get peeled back. And it doesn't happen unless the media is behind it, unless storytellers are creating stories that let people know how sympathetic they already are to the gay storyline that they might see, or news stories and the like. It's necessary. I knew it would be important. That was really it. I knew it would be important, and that was all that mattered. The drama aspect of it, that I was new to. The soap aspect of it that draws people was huge and still is. No, mine. It passed what I would call the Malkovich test.
Excellent.
It was important and needed to be done, and the character was invigorating and had a humanity all his own. So that's all it takes. I have to say, my representation at the time, and they're no longer my representation, were much more tepid on it. They were very scared, and I realized that was the reason why so many people didn't go in on that role. It was only because a lot of actors wouldn't go in on it that I was able to do it at all. Because I was still on Talk Soup when they started casting it. Sure, well, the fearlessness. Ask Harry Hamlin what the reality of being an actor playing a gay role, or in his case, a bisexual role. That's even further down the impact that had on his career was negative and so as to be immeasurable. And that's what everybody was afraid of. Now they don't have to be afraid of that anymore. Now it matters the quality of the storyline. We've gotten past the just doing it. Now how effective it is.
And the nudity.
Yeah,
that's important.
I suppose. But there's nudity, there's actually more fear about nudity in straight relationships and straight expressions of sexuality now than there are about gay ones. You get more credit for being naked in a gay love scene as an actor than you would, 10 years later, before they were frightened of us. But 10 years later, that's the reality. Straight people who get naked for they get seen as gauche and unnecessary, and it unfortunately you take the humanity out of your lovemaking if you don't show it for what it really is. So that's the sad part. That's where we're closeted as a country on all things sexual.